Hey people, there are three reasons why you are so bad in stock investing, and you might be in denial, you wouldn't want to admit that. But watch this video, but the reality is if you do deep inside feel you're so bad in your stock investing, even though you think that you're already smarter and better than most people, stay tuned for this video because this is going to be an awakening for you. Alright guys, now why you are feeling you are actually in reality so bad in your stock investing. Okay, outside I don't care, you might be someone that people consult or be something that people listen to when you talk about stock investing, but deep down inside you feel that you're still not good enough despite the fact you might feel very good about what you are doing. Okay, and there are three reasons why, and these three reasons has nothing to do with your skill set, the time spent and all that, because it has to do with biology. And what I say by that is that your mind is actually playing tricks on you. Okay, our mind, human mind, are playing tricks on us all the time, every single time. This is what we call as a cognitive or mental bias affecting your judgment when it comes to stock investing. Now, what I mean by that? Okay, the number one, there's a mental bias. Number one is what we call a recency bias. Okay, recency bias is defined as an event which has occurred recently, and as a result, something that occurred recently will become more available in your mind. You remember because it's clearer than something that, for example, happened 10 years ago. Now, because of this, you feel it's more possible for it to happen again. Now, the fact is, history never really repeats itself precisely. Try to predict which stocks are going to go up further because it has recently gone up by a lot. Okay, it's like in mathematics, you are extrapolating what has recently happened. Is actually a very foolish act. There's no 100% guarantee that the market cycle will repeat based on what has recently happened or based on even the past patterns. So you are having this recency bias. If you say that this stock has recently gone up, the business is doing very good, you have to do all the fundamental analysis, and boom, the next quarter it drops out of nothing because there's some scandal, there's some court case going on. Maybe they are being imposed a fine of a few hundred millions by the taxman. Okay, that's going to affect the revenue, and there's no way you can see that's coming. And because the fact is, black swan events like this do happen if you buy in a single stock. So because of the recency bias, when you go in that time, you think that everything's going well, the profit are going well, business are growing, there's no way you can get this wrong. So it's because it has recently happened, but there's no guarantee the business will do well. There's no guarantee innovation, competitors, or other new AI or artificial intelligence is going to disrupt the company business that ultimately affects your stock price. So these are the things we cannot control. And the second thing is what we call hindsight bias. Okay, hindsight bias in layman term means that you always have a feeling that I knew it all along. That kind of effect. It refers to your tendency to take facts now known, meaning that for the past 10 years, you know that, okay, something that happened, you interpret that, hey, if I've known this, then I should know that this will happen. Okay, you interpret them in a way that explains the past events, because in retrospect, okay, if you look at the rear mirror, everything makes sense because you are trying, we are all trying, and you are all trying to reason with past events that cause certain things to happen your way or doesn't happen your way. All right, but the fact is, you'll be misled to believe that you have more control. Okay, this leads us to believe that you have more control over the future due to your belief that you can explain everything, every market crash, every market correction, why certain stock drops in the future. You say that I should have known that coming. But in reality, if I were to put you in that time, you probably wouldn't have the same thinking. Okay, you wouldn't make sense if you were to send yourself into the past and tell yourself that this is going to happen so you can make money from any kind of investment because this something is going down or before it goes up and all that. So it fools you into thinking that the future is more predictable than it can ever be. So that is number one. And the last one, the third reason, is confirmation bias. Now, it's very human you and me tend to seek for information that ties in from sources that ties in that agree with your belief. If you think that property developer property developer stocks will be doing very well, then you will actually only pay attention or tend to only attract a kind of event sources or news that actually support your belief that this sector is going to do well in the future, and you tend to ignore or dismiss other information which does not fit in or disapprove your belief. Now let's give an example. Now they say that the glass is half full or half empty. So which one are you? Do you think the glass is half full, which if you are optimist, or you are pessimist, you think the glass is half empty? So depending on you are optimist or pessimist, this really doesn't mean that either one of you is wrong. It's just that a different perspective you are looking at things. Now, confirmation bias, you interpret news, information, and so on, so on. So it fits into existing theories and stock selection. For example, when you're picking a stock, we tend to choose things like banking, property, developer, counters, and not knowing that actually for the past 20 years, 2007 to 2017, these are the sector that gives the stocks in Bursa Malaysia that gives the most return for the past 20 years, 2007 and 2017. Packaging, logistics, F&B, furniture, building material, apparel, insurance, internet, electronic. Nothing to do with banking stock, nothing to do with property developer stocks and all that. So these are what we call as the underdogs, because the facts, the numbers does not lie. Now, so the question is, in conclusion, not our mental bias affecting your judgment investing is bad per se, but the first step is being aware, acknowledge that we all suffer from it, you suffer from it, and that followed by a conscious favorable usage for it from those bias. You know that because this bias, mental bias, will be affecting you, so you'll be more aware. And before you make a certain decision, so don't go all in, right? Don't go all in. And actually, no one will be able to overcome all this mental bias, but knowing where it's coming from can prevent you from becoming a slave to it and turning your heads to false belief and keep on losing and losing and losing money. Even though you are thinking you are good, but you keep on doing stock investing, but maybe you'll break even only. Okay, so the fact is, we don't always see things as they are. We see things as we are. Okay, if you like this video, you find this video informative, you find these lessons informative, you want me to be hitting you with more lessons like this, click on subscribe, click on below or above this screen wherever you are seeing this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.